pretty content with the performance so far. But here we go, final round, Kalahari for week 2 between A and C.
And with the slight path drawing from the northern side all the way to the southern side, slightly at 1 o'clock all the way to 7 o'clock, we do have a very central kind of flight path. So every single one of these teams will have a good place for themselves. And since we are looking at Kalahari again, this is the same gameplay that Do Easy made. They did the same thing in the previous game. So in some sense, I believe that some of these teams already have a certain amount of respect for one another, whereby they don't infiltrate and they don't invade someone else's drops. Such as, since Do Easy already made themselves at home within Refinery, no one else joins in, no one else comes in, because they have a certain amount of respect for the other enemies, because they know that if they just jump right in, they may die, or maybe they would not. Not the kind of gamble that you want to make at the start of the game.
First blood.
And speaking about gamble, bloody hit, not again, losing Pogs early on, but at least they were able to get Demon. There's a 1-for-1 scenario, not all too shabby, but if you're in bloody hit position, you really don't want to be the first team to get knocked out. And being in the I believe still the last place in the leaderboard, if they were to get knocked out first again, this is really going to hurt them, going into week 3.
Oh my god, this is not a good thing for Bloody Heads. And once again, Bloody Heads always got their back against the wall, back to the wall, because of bad landing. It is all about their parachutes. It is always the parachutes that put them in a very bad place. And once that happens, they just don't have the team coordination in order to recover themselves from a bad position. So, Husky, what do you have got to say for Bloody Heads? How can they improve here?
I think that, back to the drawing board, right? You kind of just want to reassess the drop spot, rewatch the VODs and see where the other teams usually drop, and decide whether you want to contest or you just want to change your drop spot and learn a new area to take over. Because if you keep doing this and you keep taking those gambles and losing out, eventually you have to find a way out, right? And there are two ways: you win the challenge or you change your drop spot. And judging by how Bloody Head has been performing so far, they were not losing. They are losing out all this early gunfights after dropping. I would suggest perhaps changing a drop spot because it's really not working out. But AB Tigers gonna take on Legends Rumble. Red Panda is already down, but Jaboywa was able to grab himself one more kill. So Legend Rumble, they are kind of trapped on the other side of Foundation, and we know AB Tigers, when they smell blood, they're gonna go straight in for the kill.
And we do have Legend Rumble. Unfortunately, they did not have a single kill for themselves. But, they do not have a single kill for themselves. They've got one person down already to the hands of AV Ligers. I think that there's definitely going to be some changes that can be made here as well. Do they want to get themselves away from all of that? Do they want to run away? Or do they want to still challenge all this? And speaking of challenging, it does seem like we do have Watch and Learn deciding to go all out and challenge against Bloody Heads. And that is going to be yet another loss for Bloody Heads, as they are going to be ranked at number 12 once again. They did not manage to do anything for themselves, and they did not manage to get any kills in this game. They're gonna have to come back stronger again next week, unfortunately.
Yeah. Oh man, this is actually rough. This is something that there's nothing much you can say about it other than better luck next time, or better luck next week in this case. But Bloody Head, they really gotta go back to the drawing board. So that's the end of Bloody Head for this week. We'll see what the other teams have in mind though. AB Ligers, they're gonna run straight to Legends Rumble, and we talked about this. When they smell blood, they will go in for the kill, and they are able to down Russell. Chess gets brought back up. Legends Rumble kind of caught in the bad spot, and Red Panda has them all cornered. Cyber and Taken, they gotta run away. They have the move to provide a bit of a cover and buy time, but it's not gonna be sufficient as Cyber. It's gonna be taken down, and Taken will just have to bail AB Ligers gets 3 kills.
And 3 kills to the name is going to be one of the best things that they can do at this point in time, especially since we're looking at an early game right about now. And AV Ligers, they also have got their eyes on the last member coming in from Legend Rumble, and that is going to be taken. Now it doesn't even have any glue walls anymore, as it has been tackled down by AV Ligers. With 4 kills to the name, they may very well be one of the strongest here in this game, or rather one of the kill leaders. But weirdly, I don't see the fire in their logos yet. I'm not too sure, but perhaps we'll see it in a while later. VPH Velocity, though, we're also going to be looking at them. That is going to be extremely close to many other teams right here, which is going to be Divinity, is going to be Freedom Rumble, as well as Baby Argons. They are all cooped up together in one tight packed area right inside of Bayfront with Steady Squad right across the river. So that is for sure going to be the center of this current map, and also going to be one of the most contested area that we should expect it to be.
And you also have Do Easy and VPH Velocity around the area as well. So instead of just 3 teams, we might get 5 teams instead. This is, if there's one way to end the final round for this week, I would want it to be absolutely chaotic. But it depends on where the circle decides to end on, though. Judging by how the formation of the safe zone is so far, we still might be able to get a Bayfront finish. So yeah, it's just gotta be patient. And I think all of these teams know that they have to be patient, because one wrong move is gonna deliver them a major setback, especially if you get wiped out.
Do Easy currently with still 0 kills. They knew that they want to play it safe. They do not want to approach into any they do not want to approach and get any unneeded attention. They do not need to get any lead, or does not need any gunfires running at them when they are not in the best place possible, I suppose. And especially since that there's so many people here in Bayfront. Can you imagine this? Absolutely insane. Freedom Rumble and Baby Argons is just next to each other in building. And once one person decides to throw a frag grenade, everyone else is gonna turn their heads over, take a look at them as they fight their lives out, and well, that is essentially going to be the end of it all. And all 5 of these teams will converge, and we will only see one team coming out of it alive.
Yeah, and oh boy, we're in for a ride. As Freedom Rumble, you can see that they are getting a bit worked up. They know that their house has been infiltrated, and VPH Velocity kind of playing the vultures, trying to third party with some bit of intervention. Baby Argon's gonna take on Freedom Rumble in their own compound, and there we go, man flank, not gonna even survive, and Baby Argon gets completely wiped by Freedom Rumble. They get nothing in return. Oh, what a way to go out. Not like this, Baby Argon. This is not the way you want to close out the day. But if you're Freedom Rumble, you're definitely happy with that outcome.
Definitely happy. And speaking of that, it does seem like they are also wanting to get themselves out of there. But you know what? Looking at Fast Kill MY, they are all the way at Santa Catarina now, and they would want to head their way into confinement very likely. I'm not too sure how the next circle is gonna be like, but fortunately, they are going to be pretty. They will be rid of the. They will be able to get rid of themselves from all kinds of adversaries, because the eastern side of the current circle seems to be relatively clean. No one is going to be around the area, and thus they can be pretty safe. We do have quite a lot of strong contenders in this game, which are still 4 men strong, and they managed to get themselves a good decent amount of kills as well. Freedom Rumble is one, AV Ligers is one as well. So we should be expecting this game to be relatively close at the first half of the leaderboards.
Exactly, and I think the first side of the leaderboard definitely is going to have a lot of changes, especially when you look at teams from perhaps the 2nd to 8th or the 3rd to 8th place, due to how volatile it is, right? Like, we expected Baby Argon to continuously be in the top 4, and I think they will still be in top 4, but because of how the previous two this round and the last round has kind of turned out for them, they were not getting decent endings. we might see a bit of change. I think AV Ligers, they definitely stepped up their game. We were surprised that they made it to top 4 yesterday, but today's performance, I'm definitely confident that we will see AV Ligers remaining in top 4, even top 3. So I just have to see if it turns out true, because so far they are still in the game.
Yeah, but you know what? Speaking of being in the game, it does seem like Divinity hasn't really quite shown themselves that much recently. Like, they haven't been killing. They haven't been placing high enough. They haven't been that impactful, don't you think?
I would say, yeah, I actually have to agree with that. I think the aggression of AV Ligers has kind of toned down a bit, but I also feel like it's for the better. They are taking calculated risk. When they had that breakthrough performance during that debut, it felt like AV Ligers were one of these unstoppable teams, right? They just run in, they get the kills. But I think week 2 was kind of a wake-up call for them, that sometimes going in guns blazing is not the best way to take on a fight. And ever since then, I think they've been working on it after yesterday. So today is an improvement, and it's definitely something that is helping AV Ligers to stay ahead of everyone else.
And once again, we're back at Fast Kill MY. They're still all by themselves right here in Casata Arena, but it doesn't seem like they're going to be all alone there anymore, because we do have another team that is just somewhere around, and it just seems like they've got company. Watch and Learn is somewhere there, and once the circle closes out, that is where things are starting to get really dicey. I'm not too sure whether Watch and Learn is actually going to be inside of the current circle though, but looking at the current circle, we've got Steady Squad that is inside right now, and it does seem like the main bulk of the human body is inside the Bayfront and is safe and sound. AV Ligers, they are just holding themselves right at the edge of the circle. Fortunately, no one is going to be stranded outside the circle just yet. The next circle is where things are gonna get heavy, and that is where things are starting to get chaotic. And now the circle exposed itself. This is literally the eye of Kalahari. It looks like an iris, and that is going to be pinpointed right on top of VPH Velocity as well as Do Easy. And thus, it is going to be such a great game for VPH Velocity. They better pick this game up, and they better gun everyone else down that is trying to run close to them.
Yeah, again, another round that they are in a good spot, right? Last round, Bermuda, they had the coastline. Now they are in the safe zone. You gotta make full use of this, right? Even if it's not a booyah, you have to get a top 3 finish. And now AV Ligers, they're storming Freedom Rumble's house. And Freedom Rumble, they're not a team to back down from a fight. But are they in position, though? That is the most important question. And it seems like Freedom Rumble, they're split up. It's a 2-2 formation. They might be able to get a pincer if they come in from the right angle. And yes, the rest of Freedom Rumble will be able to rejoin the squad to make it a fair fight. And AV Ligers, they are not taking any chances. They know that this is the 4th phase of the circle. They need to make it into the safe zone, and that means needing to kind of force a path straight into Freedom Rumble. They don't have much time to work with. They are starting to tank the storm, whereas same can be safe for FastQ and Y. But at least FastQ and Y, they are in the safe zone, and in fact, they were able to start picking up dragons from Watch and Learn. Watch and Learn are out in the open, and whoever goes down right now will have to be abandoned by the rest of the squad, and that's going to be the case as Divinity also kind of suffered a bit of a punishment from the side of Awesome, as FastQ and Y just nailing as much Q as they can. AV Ligers gets eliminated by Freedom Rumble, and that's gonna put us in a top 8 scenario.
Unfortunately for AV Ligers, this is definitely not something that they were expecting. But the fact that they are all the way at the northwestern side of a circle and they are being flushed out by the storm is going to be one of the toughest thing to imagine and the toughest thing to have. But in the meantime, we should also be looking at how this circle is going to be closing out in 10 seconds. Awesome manages to get themselves with 2 knockdowns, and we should be expecting more as time slowly comes in. So for now, Freedom Rumble, they managed to get themselves a total of 5 kills. And take a look at this. They are ready with the Vector Akimbo. They do have the damage. They do have the numbers. Putting it all on. Right on the enemies. Divinity, knocked out. Watch and Learn is knocked out as well. We do have 6 teams that's going to be remaining. And Freedom Rumble, they are in the prime position. They are ready to spring into action. And ladies and gentlemen, let Husky take over the play-by-play as we do have the final circle closing right in.
And here we go. This is gonna be an interesting one. Circle number 6. It's about to commence in less than 30 seconds as the kill feed will be filled with all of these deaths from different teams. And because there are a lot of compounds to work with, we're not gonna see action just yet until the next 10 seconds. When this next safe zone closes in, the teams will be flushed out. Before that happens, Steady Squad will be the next team to get knocked out. We have 5 more teams remaining. Fast Kill and Y so far, they only have 1 kill to work with. Whereas Freedom Rumble, they already have 6 in the bag, and they're still holding on pretty strong to that compound. But now with the safe zone closing in, everyone's gonna be forced out into the open. Whoever has the building is gonna have an advantage, and that is gonna be BPH Velocity. But BPH Velocity also has come already to open. Absolute chaos. Awesome goes down. Freedom Rumble, they're taking out all the 3 kills. No one chanting them. You see the fragments being thrown out the blue wall. Actually buying a bit of time. BPH Velocity goes down. Freedom Rumble just rushing right in. Is this the right choice? I don't think it is. Too easy, getting challenged, and they bomb out as well. Freedom Rumble, with one fell swoop, they clean up everyone, and they get a consecutive booyah to close out the day.